Hi everyone, and welcome to day 20 of my self-improvement personal challenge. Today's a really interesting day, although it's the thing I'm giving up today is something that I've already given up since day 1 pretty much, but now it's official. So today I'm giving up late sleeping in late, staying up late, and going to bed late. But it's going to be an interesting video today because I've had a lot of things happened last night that kind of, I don't know if this is, okay, let's start at the beginning. So, sleep. Sleep is one of the main things that you need in order to have healthy dopamine levels. So, and a sleep schedule and rhythm really allows you to be on time and focus what you're going to do in a day. So there's a lot of good reasons to have a strict schedule. Now, one of the downfalls of that is that there are things that you kind of miss out on, or could miss out on. So, but I've been going to bed pretty consistently at 10 to 10:30 and waking up at 6 or 6:30, and it's gone to the point now where I'm tired. I'm super tired at 10:30, and not tired in a way where I feel exhausted. I don't feel exhausted. I feel like I have a lot of energy, and then when 10:30 comes, like clockwork, it's like I want to go to sleep. I want to go to sleep now. I'm ready for bed, and in an enjoyable way. Again, as I've been moving out of depression and into this healthy regime, there's a couple of things that I'm noticing, and one is that I've gained an appetite for life back. I have an appetite for food. I have an appetite to want to make good food, and now I have an appetite for good sleep. I look forward to good sleep. So, yeah, it helps with your dopamine levels. It gets you balanced, and yeah, so that's been really exciting. But I've had a schedule since day 1, and even though it wasn't an official thing, it's official. This is really going to be driven home for me. So one of the things that I'm going to basically what I'm going to replace this with is that there will be times when I do need to stay up late or want to stay up late. So for those days, I'm going to plan ahead for that and plan around it and make sure that I know that I'm getting into it so my body can be prepared, and make sure that the next day I sleep in a little bit but not too much and get back into that thing. And I don't know if that means I change my diet a little bit so that I can go later, but making sure that when I stay up late, it's because I plan to and not because it's an accident. And the other thing that I'm going to do in order to make that happen is just to normalize going to bed at 10:30. You know, there seems to be with social events, there seems to be a need to go out and show up late and stay out late because it's not cool to show up to the dance at 7. The family, the kids are going to be there. Well, I thought that I was getting older, and I thought that I was just losing energy, and that's just the way it was. You're just getting old. I'm 33. I'm too old to do certain things, and that I've outgrown them. But now that I'm clearing myself out, I'm coming back to a more authentic me, and the authentic me loves playing with kids. I have so much energy these days. The last 3 or 4 days, I've had so much energy that I have to actually calm myself down. It's a really clean feeling of energy too. I don't have anxiety with this energy. I feel motivated and ready to go. Like, bring it on. What's next? Let's do this. I have a need to move right now. So you know, if there's an event that happens at 7, I'm going to show up at 7 because 7, 8, 9, 10, 3 hours later, I'll be ready for bed. And in the morning, I'm going to get up at 6. I'm going to do my little dance in the morning anyway. So getting and what I also notice is people are their best earlier on in the evening anyway. There's more relaxation. People tend to be near the end of the night. They're either more desperate to try and find that hookup, or they're more inebriated, or they're exhausted themselves and not acknowledging it. But when you're the first one there at an event, you can help the organizer out. If it's a potluck or something, you can help out. You get to feel like you're part of the community. It's a great way to join in. And then as people come in, you're kind of already part of the scene, so people are more friendly to come up to you and introduce themselves. And like I say, people are more relaxed and eager to talk and share at the beginning of an event. So I'm going to capitalize on this restriction by planning not to go to things that go too late unless I really want to, and then it'll be on purpose. So that's for the, okay, and the other thing that I'm going to be replacing late sleeping with is I had written down dream work. So this original list, I'm going by the same list that I started off with, and I wrote this list like a couple months ago before I started this, and sorry, this might be a little longer of a video, but I wrote down dream work because with regular sleep you start having dreams again, and they play with your subconscious. So I don't know what dreams are made of. I think that they're partly subliminal, things that have happened in your day that you're rehashing, subliminal thoughts that you're having and that you're not paying attention to consciously. And then maybe there's a bit of like God, woo-woo, demons, something else, collective conscious, angels. Who knows what that other bit is? But I think there's definitely something else there. That's not important. That doesn't matter. But what happened? So I didn't read that I was going to do dream work. I didn't know what I was giving up today until I looked at the list. And so this is really interesting. So last night I had a full-blown nightmare. It woke me up out of my sleep. I don't have nightmares that often, and it was really interesting that, yesterday I was talking about, dealing with your self-sense and the fears of death and the complexity of life, and how, to live authentically you have to come to a place of accepting and facing your fears. So I think last night I had a nightmare that really worked. Like it was almost like my subconscious was like, okay, you said your game, okay, here we go. So the nightmare in short was I took my dog for a walk. My dog got brutally attacked by two other dogs and was like missing limbs and was still alive but was going to have to get put down. And then I went to friends for help, and they downplayed the severity of it, which was like my dog was messed up, and they downplayed the severity of it. And then I yelled at them and I was like, you're not showing up for me. You're da 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 da. So in that dream, like when I saw the dogs, I was above and I jumped down, and it was a big white dog and a big black dog attacking. I don't know if that's symbolic or what, but I leapt off this cliff and I basically land kicked both of these dogs in the face. They were fine, but they were very fine. They were like right next to me, and they were kind of like trying to bite me and stuff. And it was so I felt so many vivid emotions in this dream. I felt at first panic and like a strong protective urge. Then I felt pure courage. Like I guess that's what it feels like, because I didn't know these dogs were intimidating. I assumed that they were going to eat me, and I just jumped on them and put my arms right there, and they didn't really bite me. But then I felt guilt, because I always walk Honey, and sometimes she instigates fights or something like that. I walk her off leash, and so I had some guilt, I had some pain, when I started actually looking at how bad she was, I had immense sadness. I was swearing and apologizing for swearing, and people were getting on me for swearing instead of what was going on. I had grief, and then when I went to my friends for help and they weren't showing up, I had anger, I had disappointment, I felt betrayed. So there was a whole gamut of very distinct feelings in very short order. And what I noticed was really interesting is that my feelings were appropriate for what was going on in every moment. I was emotionally authentic, and they were serving the situation as it was unfolding, whereas the feelings that I'm used to feeling right now are old, stale feelings, things I haven't faced or haven't addressed. So I think this dream was an opportunity to live my authentic emotional being in real time. And that felt incredible. So some things that, like, I had taken my dog for a walk up a new hill the day before, or the day of. I had gone and hung out with some closer friends that day, and I had talked about fear of death in the video from yesterday. So I think the subconscious elements were the fear of I had a fear of Honey being attacked that was playing out subconsciously during the day, and then I also have a deeper issue of trusting people and then them not showing up. So kind of being guarded, which people don't think that I'm very guarded because I'm so outgoing. Like, I'll just be ridiculous in real and out there. But that's kind of, and always has been, a show. I have, and my mom could tell you, you know, like, big show, but like kind of reserved on some very interesting levels. Other people know that too with my humor. Sometimes I use humor to diffuse a vulnerable, intimate moment. So I have a fear of actually opening up and trusting somebody, trusting people, and then them not showing up or being betrayed. So, and then also the fear of being angry and swearing, and my dark side. So all of these things showed up in this dream. So I woke up out of my dream. What does that mean? Oh, that's nothing. So I woke up out of my dream, and I had to go to another room and clear my head, and I wrote down the dream, and I wrote down the details, and I started analyzing it, and then I was like, no, I got that stuff out of the way, don't analyze it. I made a commitment to not avoid feelings, and analysis of feelings is a form of avoidance, so I just felt it. I just felt the mix mash of stuff, and I didn't give it a time limit or anything. I just felt it, and at some point I felt okay, and I went back to sleep. So it wasn't until today that I realized that I put dream work down. So this is something that's happening as I'm clearing up. I'm getting more serendipitous things, or more coincidences. It seems like more powerful affirmations of the universe are happening, and I don't want to get. So let's backtrack. Last night, I went to an event. I was kind of host. I was just I helped this. I provided the space basically for this event to happen, but I didn't do any of the setup. And it was a movie watching and a little demonstration of a spiritual technique that the wisdom keepers down in Peru are wanting to share with the world. And so it was a very beautiful movie of following these people through Peru and watching them do the ceremonies and the things that they did for people on a daily life, whether it's blessing a traveler or helping a child with a sore arm. So actually, so that scene last night was really casual, really comfortable. There was like chairs, but there was also like kind of like mats on the ground. People were cuddling. It was a very beautiful scene, and that's one of the kind of things that I want to do more of, is be in intimate, real, present interactions with people. Maybe this is something that I want to do as more of event things. It ran a little late, and so I was kind of like, it's a little late, so I ended up leaving. But that movie made me cry, and I was aware that I was letting some of that emotion out. I was able to let some tears roll as they came, but I could still feel a block. So I think that's what this dream was, just like, nope, go all the way. So that was pretty interesting. And again, like, it all seems to be tying in. I don't know why this book seems to be following. I'm not following the book. I'm reading the book, and it's reaffirming what's going on for me. I don't know why I had that dream last night after making that affirmation to not avoid feelings and not avoid conflict, and then today to be dream work. It's very bizarre. And so yeah, this unusual serendipity, this woo-woo stuff. I want to move back onto this movie about these wisdom keepers made me want to move back onto the red path. It makes me want to go into that dedicated spiritual service path, which is one of the reasons I've probably avoided being clean for a while, is because every time I get clean, it calls me really strongly, and that generally makes it really hard to do normal things with the friends and family that I have. So, but I don't want to go. I have a lot of aversion. There's that word again, to woo-woo, metaphysical, new age talk, or people who are unbalanced using those words, just a fluffy nothingness, like just throwing words around. It turns me off, and one thing that I've learned is to not be turned off by people doing the work from the work. You know, it's okay to dislike how someone's doing something, but it doesn't mean that what they're trying to practice is not without merit for myself. So I definitely want to keep moving the way I'm going. I don't have any main goals to go off to Peru or anything, but I know that I want to continue to be a grounded, clear, and focused, action-oriented person who is moving things and influencing things towards that holistic, integral place that I can see community coming into with nature, with their surroundings, with each other, and with me. So that's day 20 for me. I'm gonna less partying, more sleeping, more boosting dopamine, more dream work, more serendipity, and yeah, just thanks for letting me share that experience. It was a wild one. So I hope everyone's well. I hope you're enjoying your Easter. Happy Easter, everyone, friends and family. Much love to all of you. Thanks for being here with me again today, and we'll see you tomorrow. All right, bye now.